Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. Ed Talks, a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. A topic for the discussion is how can the communication between teachers and parents improve, and to express her viewpoints on the same, we have with us Dr. Sugandhi Narayan ma'am, principal of Ekyatha Public School, Bangalore. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, and good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon to you too, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time. It's an honor to have you here on this platform.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, let's begin off with the session, ma'am, shall we?
Yes, please.
So, ma'am, firstly, when we talk about the communication between the parents and the teachers, so how can the communication improve between the both, and why is there a need for a better communication in the very first place?
Yeah, thank you. It's a very nice question, and thank you for inviting me for this talk because the current situation is that after 2 years of lockdown, so the teachers, the students, and the parents, they are all left, lost. So this is very important because communication plays a very important role for the development of a child. That nobody can deny that. And teachers become their extended family members. So both these groups are important for the students' long-term success, especially when they communicate and work together effectively. And to be honest enough, there is no one size that fits all approaches towards building relationship with parents. So now what happens is teachers and parents are already splitting time on various demanding tasks throughout the student's education life. And if you see, each parent is unique and you will come across a variety of personalities and levels of involvement of the parents in the classroom. So the communication should be in a very friendly way. A little friendly way goes on a long way between parents teachers communications. Whether you are communicating via email or text or in person, the communication should be warm, it should be welcoming, and it should offer encouragement. So when we see a parent in person, we need to smile, we have to make an eye contact and even shake hands. And effective communications between parents and teachers starts with what? The number one is positivity. So when contacting a student's parent or a guardian, we have to start out by saying a very positive about the child. That is very, very important. Like how like friendliness, we say it's a long way to go. This little positivity also goes a very long way. And the basis of effective communication with parents and teachers also start with trust.
Yeah.
Which is very important. It is essential for the parents to trust their child's teacher. The teacher has to trust the parents. When speaking to the parents, we also need to ensure that everything that is discussed is confidential. We don't share it with other parents. That is very much important. And the third one, a very common mistake in all the school teachers is that we only communicate when there is a problem. When there is something good, we don't reach out to the parents. So what happens is when we suddenly call a parent, no, they get an alarming, an alert. Oh, what happened?
Yeah,
Why it is been there? So I think these are the ways we can make the communication much better. And you were asking the second question, I think, why there is a need for better communication. Okay. Now you see the communication between the parents and the teachers starts from the day one the child enters to the school till the child leaves the school. So communication plays a very vital role in development of a child. Nobody can deny that. And hence communication between the parents and the teachers should be very, very effective. So when a child's parents and teachers communicate better, what happens is it leads in a better nurturing of the child's development. That is because educating a child is not only the responsibility of the school, but also the responsibility of the parent. So there needs to be an ample communication between the home and the school to foster a safe learning environment for the children. And in ongoing communication with the child's teachers will allow them to tailor their approach and also apply appropriate strategies to suit the child's need and learning in classes, because we will be having different level of students, different understanding level of parents, so which is very, very important. And so parents who are involved, if you see, to tend to have a more positive towards the teachers, which will result in the teachers morale. So in this way, I think this will help us.
Absolutely, ma'am. There should be trust building between the both first. Thank you so much. So moving forward, ma'am, when you just mentioned how can we improve and why is it important. So coming back to the next part, ma'am, how will it help the students, to learn better, to grow better?
Okay. When we say that positivity is very much required, a positive parent-teacher relationship, it will significantly impact students' success. One thing is when the teachers are proactive. So when the students experience a positive connection with their parents and the teachers, they automatically start becoming more invested in their classroom goals because they know that both are trying to push
Yeah.
these students in that way. So this happens because they understand that both the groups are working towards their development and they must also work hard to reach their academic goals. So this will push the students. And when that hard work translates to better grades and holistic development, students feel more confident sharing their study or life issues with their parents or teachers. So this will create a healthy relationship between both the parties. And second thing is that there will be a respect for the teachers. So students usually, if you see, they are observant. So when they notice that the teachers respect their parents and are proactive about the happenings in the classroom, the students also develop a high level of respect for their teachers. So this will help them to follow the school instructions in a better way and they stay excited about sharing their success with their parents and they feel that parents and teachers are approachable. We can go and reach them, whatever the problem is there, we can share it with them. And so this will, what happens is it will easier in problem solving. So because when the students faces issues in their day-to-day activities, and if they don't communicate to their family members or teachers, what happens is it can lead to a poor academic sessions is what I feel. So in this way, it will help. And not only that, in if students know that their teachers and parents are a team and are on their side, no matter what, they will have the confidence to overcome the obstacles and ask for the helps what they need. And finally, communication is a social skill, and that is passively learned. The students rely on their active environment to observe how their peers and elders communicate and seeing that they also learn.
Yeah.
So this helps them to have successful interactions with their classmates, teachers, parents, later on in the corporate level, with their teams, colleagues, everything.
Absolutely, ma'am. That helps, the students in many ways. Thank you so much for a very brief explain by you, ma'am. So moving forward, what can, educators do to ensure a better communication from their end?
So, yeah, research, shows that the parental involvement can free teachers and they can make the teachers to focus more on the task of teaching children. And also by having more contact with parents, teachers learn more about students' need, what is required, because whatever the students expose in school is totally different from what they expose at home. So by having a frequent communication with the parents, the teachers also can understand the students much better. So as I mentioned earlier, each parent is unique. And to deal with different unique parents, teachers need to implement diverse strategies and tools in communications. We cannot communicate the same thing. They have to proactively act in a different way to communicate. So I think what the teachers, as a teachers, what I feel we can do is that they have to be proactive. That first things. So this will help in building the needed trust and support. The second thing is that they should be able to differentiate the situation to decide whether to make a one-way communication or two-way. Every time, it's not that we send a diary note and say, okay, my job is done. I don't know whether the parents have said or not. There might be certain situations where you need to call the parents. There should be a two-way interaction. There are certain situations where one-way interaction, just send a diary note, and that is enough. And both the teachers and parents should communicate to the point and also when it is required. It's not that we just call up, did you watch the serial? Sometimes what happens when to have a better communication, they start talking irrelevant points, which may lead to chaos and confusion. So the teacher should know what needs to be communicated, where she needs to draw the barricade, all these things she should know. And there should be a very professional communication. In other words, parents, teachers can be friendly, but they should never become friends at one point because that professionalism needs to be maintained. Similarly, discussion during the parents teachers meeting should be more of goal oriented rather than that assessment. The child is not doing this, lecture method. Instead of that, it should be more of goal oriented. How we can help the child. The discussion should be in that way. And whatever the challenges the teachers are facing, that should be put across in the form of a concern and not and as a constructive feedback also, and not as a complaint. So in this way, if teachers can work on this, I think we'll have a better communication and the children can be benefited more.
Absolutely, ma'am. And there was, a beautiful thing you previously mentioned, that the things of one parent should not be mentioned in front of the others. That's a very beautiful thing. Thank you so much. So, lastly, ma'am, what do, teachers expect from a parent in that case when they are, trying so hard to communicate, from their end and all these things? So, what do they expect from the parents in that case?
First thing they expect from the parents is respect. That is what I feel as a teacher. I also expect that. First thing is the respect and not criticize the teacher in their child's presence. That is very much important. See, generally, children perform better in school when their parents encourage respect for the teacher's authority and competence. And when children see that their parents and the teachers as a united team working towards the same goal, no, they will respect both. When we criticize a teacher in front of our teachers, criticize the teacher in front of our children, the children will not have any respect. When the child doesn't have a respect, the child will not even feel like studying that subject. So most of the time we say that the child is not interested in certain subjects. It's not that they are not interested in the subject. They are not interested in the teacher who is teaching. That's the reason why they don't study, is what my opinion. Of course, there might be that the students have challenges in learning things, but still, if the teacher can create an impact, definitely the child will learn. And that impact the teacher can create only when she feels that she is being respected. So that is one thing that I should say. And also the parents should try to appreciate the demands and constraints of the teacher's job also. It's not that they are paid, they have given it, the teacher's job is to teach and my job is done. It's not like that. We have to appreciate. There might be a lot of challenges. So in summary, if you see, one thing is that the teachers needs to be respected and not criticize the teacher in child's presence.
Yeah.
And also monitor the child's schoolwork alone, not to tell them that do this, do that. Just monitor and give a feedback to the teachers. Ma'am, this is what I found that he's not able to learn. Maybe you can just work on that. So this way, we will also come to know, as teachers, we will also come to know what is the challenges the children are facing at home. And also understand that the teacher cannot individualize instructions for all students in the classes. So there will be a generalized instructions given. There might be a few children who are slow learners who would grasp the things very slowly. So teachers will work on it. But if the parents also help us in telling what exactly the child is facing the problem at home, then maybe the teachers will also work in a better way. And contact the teachers with any classroom concerns before going to the principal. Sometimes what happens, it directly goes to the principal. Small things, which can be exaggerated later on. So I feel that anything as a concern, if they feel, just to check with the teacher first and then go to the principal level. And not to blame the teachers for any of the school policies which they don't like. This sometimes it happens. Yeah. I think this is what, and to even they can call the teachers early when they know, they smell there is a problem, rather than making the problem happen and then ask for the solution. And I think these things, as a parents, I'm a parent, I'm a teacher, and now I'm a principal. So definitely as a parent, I can understand what is the problem that is there. And I think as a parent, we should also try to support the teachers. And as a teacher, I have undergone so many things. So
Yeah.
I also feel that parents also have dreams. So teachers have to listen that patiently. So it's actually in hand. It's a win-win situation for both the parties.
Absolutely, ma'am. Being a teacher requires a lot of hard work, patience, and so many things we can't even think of. Thank you so much, Sugandhi ma'am, for being here today. It was, wonderful having you here. I hope you too did enjoy the session with us.
And thank you for inviting me, because this is one thing that which I really wanted to communicate to the community and society, that we should always have a feeling that it is not parents versus school. It is always parents and the school. And when we say and the school, the teachers are part of it. Absolutely. And without them, the school cannot run.
Thank you so much, ma'am, again for being here. And for all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.